Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. Today we're looking at this little gadget here from a company called Geelang. I like useful little gadgets for quadcopter stuff, as you well know if you follow this channel. And this is really useful for a certain situation, and that's removing stubborn props from your tiny little T-mount motors. Now normally, flying 5-inch quads, they've got a 5mm nut and bolt on them, so if you're having trouble you get one of these little gripper things and you grip the bell with it and you loosen it off, and it's all fine, relatively straightforward. But if you've got a little model like this with, say, a 2-inch prop or a 3-inch prop using the T-mount system, so that's 2 screws and it's on a little bit of like a metal rod in the middle, and that's what you put your prop on. Sometimes that can be loose and sometimes it can be really tight, and in fact some people don't even need to put the 2 screws in to be able to fly their quads, save a bit of weight by having a friction fit there instead. So what can you do if you have a difficult prop and it just won't come off the motor when you bent the prop or something like that? You can struggle with it, try and grip it. Sometimes you can damage the motor if you're not careful. So what can we use to remove that prop? Well, this little gadget here. So let's zoom in and have a look exactly what we get in the box, and then we're going to show you how you can use this gadget to remove props from your motors without damaging the motors. It really works well and it's really useful. So here we are. A little box, comes in a nice little box, very well packaged. So open it up and there's the little gadget itself, prop removing tool. It's on a keychain so you can attach it to your bag without any problem. Pretty much everything we need is inside here. Just put that to one side. We've got a little Allen key here, and that's not for what you think it is, it's for something a bit different. We'll go to that in a second, but it is useful for something, though it doesn't matter if you don't take that with you. And we get another little bag here, some extra screws here, and these are very useful, but we'll get to them in a little while. We've got some already in there, so these are just spares in case we lose them because they're easily lost, and they're for a very specific job, so we've got extras of those. And then if we lift up, here we are, we've got some instructions in underneath in Chinese and in English, but we're going to go through the instructions ourselves in a second, so no need to worry about that. So here's a little prop removing tool. This is all we need. As we said, we've got this as well, and this will actually fit in there like that to come with us, this little Allen key, but we don't really need it because all it's used is it fits in there like that and it allows you to undo this little 2mm, get to focus, come on, focus camera, this little 2mm Allen key bit there, so if it comes loose you can tighten up, so you don't necessarily need that. We just slip off here this 3D printed part, so that's the keyring and that's the actual prop remover there. So what do we get? Well, it comes in like 2 parts, and I'm going to show you then. We unscrew it like this, okay, and there we have 2 little screws already in there. They're a bit loose, so that's why we've got spares, which is very useful. So we've got these little screws here, and then we've got these 2 parts here. So basically what we do is this: we remove the 2 screws from the prop. They obviously, when they come out of the actual motor itself, they then become quite loose, so we take them out of the way. Then we replace the 2 holes there with these 2 screws here, and to tighten them up we use the other side there. So it's a 2mm hex bit, and that then screws in, if we can get to focus, that then screws in to the prop just a little way. We need to leave a little bit of a gap. Then we've got these 2 screws poking out of our prop, and then we hook, can you see there's a little hook there, you hook that through those 2 screws like that, and then we put that back on, tighten the thread up, and as we tighten the thread up, hopefully you can see that little pin comes down like that, and that pushes onto the pin in the middle of the motor and it lifts the prop cleanly off. So let's have a look at that in action. But that's pretty much how it works, and it works really well. So first things first, we remove the screws out of our prop. These props are very tightly on there. There's a bit of turn, but if you wanted to try and pull it off, you're going to have a lot of problems. So what we do is we take one of our screws, so we just put that in, just a couple of turns into the motor, just so it's held in place. And then we do the same with the other one. Put it in just enough to hold it in place, like so. So we've got our 2 screws in there, sticking out. The threads obviously is a lot bigger than the hole. That's why we need these specific screws, and we can't use these ones. So they're now gripping that. So then we hook very carefully. We hook this on here, like so. So what we do is, now we've got that on, we use this to tighten it up a little bit more. Make sure it's nice and tight and well fitted on there, because we don't want that moving. So that's going to cause us problems if it does. So that's on there now. So now we've got that bell sitting on top of the motor, but it's screwed down into the screws there. Then we turn it over to make sure the thin pin is there with the thread, and then we just do it up, and as you can see, it gently pulls the prop off, and then we have a prop attached to a tool off the motor. The motor is fine. There's no damage on any of the windings or the very small bushings or whatever are in there. I'm not sure if it's got anything other than just some bushings in there, just to hold it in place. It might have some bearings in there, but if it doesn't, that can be easily damaged, and even small bearings can be easily damaged. So we've removed that prop, and there we are. Take it all apart. It's a bit long-winded, but when you're trying to save damaging a motor, taking a few minutes to remove the prop safely can save you having to spend £15–20 on a new motor. So bear in mind that cost half the price of a cheap motor. It's worth having a look at. So put that back in there, put that back in there. Very carefully do that up because they are loose, like so. And hopefully you can see there that those, get my camera to focus, the screws are being held in place like that, so they're not going to go anywhere. Put it back on your bag, take it away. There you go. So a really useful little gadget, and as I said, you know, I like useful little gadgets like this. Do really good jobs, not very expensive, really useful if you're trying to do a specific task. And this works really, really nicely. As we said, it's not very expensive. And if you're all often struggling to take off T-mount props, then this could be something that you might want to have a look at and purchase for yourself. So there you go. A very useful little gadget. And it doesn't cost too much, as we said. So thank you so much for watching this video. Certainly appreciate it. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button. But that's entirely up to you. But hopefully I'll catch you in a video in the future. Take care then. Bye bye.